Hi everybody and welcome back to another video on the Toon Review YouTube channel. Before we get into the video, if you are new to the channel and you like what you see, please do hit that subscribe button. It is free to do so, and also that notification bell which will let you know when we go live or we upload on the channel. And also, why not stick a like on at the same time? Thank you very much. Now, into the video. Very, very quiet on the transfer front this morning for Newcastle United. Of course, the James Maddison rumours are still going around, and, you know, will we put in a third bid? Are we going to go for him? Is there anybody else out there that we could particularly go for? But nothing is broken yet, but as soon as it does, we will let you know, of course, on the channel. Very interesting interview with Nick Pope in the Athletic that was released today. Very, very good interview. And just picking up some points about what Nick Pope had to say in his signing for Newcastle United. He said he did have options in the summer. Obviously, other clubs were interested in Nick Pope, but this is the step he wanted to take. He wanted to join Newcastle United. He was very excited about the project that they put forward to him, and of course, he is now signed for the club and very much looking forward to playing for Newcastle. He also stated that it wasn't, mentioned to him about the number one position. He just came to the club because he wanted to help with the project and he wanted to be part of it, which is great news for us. Of course, anyone that watches our channel knows that I believe Nick Pope will start off as number one. I believe he will start the game against Forest on Saturday and go ahead and have a tremendous season and hopefully push for that England number one spot for the World Cup ahead of Jordan Pickford. Time will tell on that, of course, because we know Mr. Southgate has his favourites and tends to stick with them through thick or thin. He also said that during the England games at the beginning of the summer, he was always in Kieran Trippier's ear, asking him about Newcastle United, the city, the fans, the football club, and Trippier obviously had nothing but great things to say, which obviously confirmed again that Nick Pope was making the right decision in signing for Newcastle United. He said that Kieran Trippier probably got very fed up of him going on at him constantly about Newcastle United, but it was something that Nick Pope needed to do, wanted to do, and get to know what club he would be signing for. And so Trippier did have a big part in that during the England games at the beginning of the summer. And it's fantastic to know that, that these players are talking about Newcastle United in such a positive way, because if this was last season or a few seasons before, there's no way anybody would have been recommended to sign for Newcastle, never mind an England international. Two of them now with Nick Pope and Kieran Trippier signing, a lot to be excited about. And he also went on to say that he's of the opinion that a lot of the England players or around the England squad, if they were approached by Newcastle United, he's under no illusion that they would sign for the club. And again, going back to what I've just said, that is a completely different kettle of fish to what we know that's gone on in the past, where players just haven't wanted to sign. We've gone overseas. There hasn't been the excitement or the buzz around Newcastle United, but there is now. And for Nick Pope to come out and say that he really does believe that a lot of the England squad and a lot of other players, if they were approached by Newcastle United, would find it very, very difficult to turn it down, knowing what Nick Pope's been told about the project and the ambition of the football club. He also said the next few seasons, he imagines, more England players signing for Newcastle. The talk is very good about the club, and that can only benefit the club itself. When we know that England players are talking about Newcastle United in such a very, very positive way. It's fantastic for me because, knowing Nick Pope had other options and things like that, but he came to Newcastle because of what Trippier said, because of the way Eddie Howe and the owners have sold the club and the ambition. This puts a real sort of positivity on the stuff going on with Maddison or other transfer deals at the moment, knowing that players are talking about Newcastle United in such a positive way. But of course, for Newcastle, it's about agreeing fees, etc., with the clubs before they get a chance to talk to the players. Now, Eddie Howe has said that there's only a small pool of players that they're interested in. In an interview yesterday, he said that, of course, most people know the players that they're interested in because the bids have been made. But he said there's a small pool. It's not a lot of names, which for us Newcastle fans, of course, there's been thousands of names banded around on social media. But Eddie Howe has confirmed that it's not a real big pool of players. There's not a lot of names out there that they're looking for. But should they be unsuccessful with one of them, they will turn their attention to another one, which is what you do as a football club, I guess. But it's exciting because we know that they're still going to be involved in the transfer market. I firmly believe that, right up until the window closes, that Newcastle will be involved somewhere, whether it be bids or whether it just be talked about with players. But for us as fans, very exciting times because of what's gone on in the past. We haven't been involved much in transfer windows. So this time around, especially with the names that are being linked, it's fantastic. And finally, reports are suggesting that Newcastle United could well turn their attention to Ross Barkley if they are unsuccessful for James Maddison. Now, we know Ross Barkley's had a bit of a rough time since he went to Chelsea. He was absolutely fantastic for Everton, brilliant footballer. And whether he can regain his form for Newcastle United should he come, it's another option, isn't it? I remember him scoring an absolute worldie at St James's Park a few years ago for Everton. If he can get that form back, which... Let's face it, Ross Barkley is a very talented footballer. He just can't get into the Chelsea side on a regular basis. But we know what Chelsea are like for their turnover of players, the squad rotation system. It hasn't really suited Ross Barkley. So to get a player like Ross Barkley for me would be fantastic. But, let's really go for James Maddison. I think all the Newcastle United fans are very excited about this transfer, and hopefully it'll happen. But there you go. That's the latest news today. There isn't a lot to go through on transfer front, but like I said earlier on in the video, if it does happen, we will bring it to you here on the Toon Review YouTube channel. Hopefully some exciting couple of days ahead of the kickoff with Nottingham Forest. But as I say, if you have enjoyed the video, do hit that like button and let YouTube know that something good is happening on this channel. And also, if you're new and you like what you see, please do hit that subscribe button. It is free to do so. And also the notification bell, which will let you know when we go live or we upload. You can donate to the channel as well if you do so wish to do. You can hit that thanks button, which is just along from the like button, and you can donate that way while we're not on air. But thank you very much for watching the show, guys. We'll see you tonight for the Fantasy Football Show at 9 o'clock. In the meantime, enjoy your day. Take care.